So could you start by telling us about the origin of the business that you now own, the Village Cheese and stuff, and how you took over that?
Totally. So my grandpa actually started milking cows in '53. And so this year we've been milking cows 71 years. And so that was in Abbotsford. And Grandpa and Grandma got a cow for their wedding present. And so they got kind of forced upon them, but they just took it in stride. Grandpa worked on the railroad and built barn, milked cows, worked on the railroad, milked cows again. So I'm blessed to be third generation dairy farmer. Right after I graduated high school, we moved the farm up to Mara, so from Abbotsford to Mara in 2003. And then 9 years ago, we started Madeley Blueberries. And so we bought a piece of land that was attached to our property. We planted blueberries, and because we're dairy farmers, 60 acres isn't that big, so we planted 60 acres of blueberries, thinking, oh, that's not too bad, and now it's 90,000 plants that we get to prune and take care of, and it's a lot of blueberries. And then getting our feet wet in distribution, retail, getting some good, just good contacts and good people to work with selling stuff made us really want to be able to market our own dairy products. Had been a dream for quite a while, and then somebody sent me a Facebook post that Village Cheese was for sale. And we started that conversation, and here we are now.
That's brilliant. So what kind of challenges did you face over taking a pre-existing company? What were some of the challenges that you had to work through with that?
Oh, the staff is just unreal. I'm just kidding. Kelly's the table sitting over there. They're heckling me. No, that part has been the most beneficial, the most fulfilling is to take on a staff that's just fantastic and have run it great. So that part's fun. I was totally joking, Kelly, about the staff. Some of the legal stuff to take over a business like that, the ownership structure with the lawyers to make sure the taxes was done properly so we don't get in trouble on the next succession. And so, it's third generation. I would like to see it go 3 more. So to put the work in and the money in with the lawyers to make it succeed to my kids and grandkids in the future, hopefully. And so that part was, and that's not something I'm good at. I hate that part. It's in the lawyer's office and I just want to, whatever. I just want to go on the road and sell stuff. So that was the biggest struggle, was all of the legal documents to get that done.
So I'm assuming your next business will not be anything to do with the legal system.
No, definitely not.
So taking over the pre-existing business, what kind of steps are you doing to rebrand and make it your own and make it fresh and new?
Yep. So we actually didn't buy the business. We didn't buy the shares of Village Cheese. So we've actually renamed it Village Dairy. And so today, for the first time, we're showing off our new logo. It's just a little tablecloth hanging off the front. We've been working on that for quite a while. We're real proud of it. And so we wanted to bring it here first. And that'll start to roll out new labels, new signs on the building. And so, we're rebranding to Village Dairy, hoping to maybe move into a few things even other than cheese. And then that makes more sense to not be Village Cheese Butter. Yeah, so.
I don't know, it has a good ring to it.
Yeah.
So how did purchasing the new Village Dairy impact your pre-existing businesses?
Well, I wasn't at the other businesses while we were purchasing it, so we'll have to ask everybody else, AJ was not around. No, it's been neat because the customers and consumers that we have with Madeley Blueberries have just been so excited. They're just to bring another product to market. I think that we've worked hard to build a brand that people recognize and are proud of, and then to bring something else is fun, and the support has been amazing. This town's been great, and there's this heritage of cheese making in Armstrong, which is why this event occurs in this town, and for us to be able to be the flag carriers to continue making cheese in Armstrong is just something we're so proud of and honored to be able to do.
So how do you guys support local? What are some of the steps that you're doing to ensure that you are supporting local, whether that's yourself and other businesses, or are you showcasing other businesses as well?
Yeah, so I really do love working with like other businesses. And we've put a couple other cheeses on the shelf, trying to sell stuff, working with, in the retail shop in a village, we're like trying to host charcuterie type products that are locally made. And so we've got some friends, we're hosting their stuff. If there's other stuff, we're interested in hosting that. I really do think that food should be local and it should be sustainable so that no matter what happens in economics and world policy and all that stuff, our valley is taken care of and BC is taken care of and Western Canada is taken care of. So yeah, we ship blueberries overseas. We do some stuff to Asia, but once it leaves, and you kind of lose that connection with the customer, with the consumer, the last consumer. And I'm not consumer facing that much. But when I do get to talk to somebody who, I'll be in Prince George or Calgary or something, like, oh my gosh, they see my brand on my shirt. Oh my, I have your blueberries every morning. And it brings a sense of pride and that we've done it well and that they're comfortable enough to be excited about the brand to like approach me. And that is something that's been happening more and more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what are some things that you feel like connect you and your customers? What are some things that you do as a business owner to ensure that connection is stable?
As we like grow and get bigger, that does get more difficult. I think we've hired a social media company now to help us with that, and that's been amazing. And so we're at the point where we are able to do that. Shout out Kate and Connor of Lucky Duck, and they've been really great. And so people can see what's going on a little bit at the farm, a little bit in the cheese plant. We've done way more filming than has been released yet. We're waiting for the new brand. Then there's a couple of long form videos coming out. And then we will be putting QR codes on the new labels, linking back to a video library, everything from planting the crops, harvesting, milking cows, making the cheese, shipping it. And so we're really trying to keep that customer interaction feel like they know exactly where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of your guys' reels. They're incredibly entertaining.
It's so weird to go home and catch my wife watching me on Instagram. I'm like, how do I look?
If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend that you go watch them.
Yeah.
They're a really good time. So can you share your experience of advancing your businesses and any lessons that you've learned along the way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, collecting money, like you were talking about, that's a good one. Yeah, we got stories of that. Advancing the business. Do what you say you're gonna. Like, if you say you're gonna bring something, you better bring it. And if you can't do it, just tell them ahead of time. Be like, we don't have the fruit. This last year was a really tough fruit year. And we sat down as a team, and we just said, okay, we're not gonna have the fruit to supply everybody who's typically our customers. Our goal is to not piss anybody off, so they come back next year. And so to get to that point is a blessing to be able to sell everything, but then, just to have that open communication with everybody, to be like, hey, we're not going to be able to supply you, and so under promise and over deliver. Yeah, there you go. And I think we've done that well, and that's where my heart's really at, is to just treat people like I want to be treated and do right. So I think that's how we've grown it.
Yeah, round of applause for that. So can you share any memorable memories that you've made along the way of advancing?
Oh, there's all kinds of fun ones, but so you should try it. Phone the Madeley phone number, 7454. It's a cell phone. It's usually in my house, and often my kids will pick it up. It's usually for like retail customers. Usually they're coming, hey, are you guys open? Can I get 10 pounds? And so my kids are 8, 10, and 12. And so they answer the phone, and they're real good. They're respectful, and sometimes they're like, oh, that's close. Stan is the manager of Safeway in Vernon. We have a good relationship. Stan usually calls me. For whatever reason, he called that number. He calls that number, and my then 11-year-old answered it. They had a 15-minute conversation, my 11-year-old with the manager of Safeway. And, but he called me afterwards and was like, who did I just talk to? She was amazing. She was polite. She was kind. She knew what she was talking about, and she told me when she didn't know, and that she would get back to me. And he called me right after, and I was like, she's 11. He's like, oh my God, I haven't talked to adults who are that respectful in a long time.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
That's why we work.
Yeah, that's super nice that it's very family involved. I know people love to see that. I love
Yeah.
seeing your family in the reels and how involved you guys all are. That just makes it so much more special.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so he offered her a job, and I said, on your dead body. Yeah, she's staying. So, yeah, I'm just proud of all of them. It's so fun to be able to work with them and teach them how to treat people.
Wow, thank you so much. That's incredible. Do they have a favorite? Are they very involved in your work? Do they help harvest blueberries or help? What are?
Yeah, they're just like rip around on their bikes. Usually they're like in the retail sales shed on the farm, helping customers. They figured out tips, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
And so I go in there, I think it was last summer, and my little guy's 8, then 7, and he's eating a whole pound of blueberries. So the 1 pound blueberry punnet's about this big, and he's just shoveling them in his mouth as fast as he could. Like, what are you doing? Because like he can go anywhere. Why would you open a pack? He's like, I needed a container to put tips in. So he was emptying the container and then Sharpied tips on the side and put it on the, and people just love that. And they make a ton of money in tips. And they will always know how to serve people and get a tip.
Wow, that's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he owed me $7 for the pound of blueberries.
Did that come out of
I
his
took
tips?
the first 7. No.
So can you talk a little bit about any future plans or future exciting news that you guys have planned for the?
Every time I start talking about future plans, everybody tells me to go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I got lots of future plans. We're just really leaning into Village right now. The blueberry side, lots of good things that happen. We're selling all of our product. We have some other plans there, but on the Village side, we would really like to get to a point where we process all of the milk from our dairy farm. Currently, we're processing about 25% of it. The plant has the capacity to do all of the milk, and so we're really leaning into being able to get all of our milk there, process it, and get it to customers. And so our mission statement is nurture creation so that all may experience the fullness of life. And nurture creation means our plants, our animals, our team, our staff, people in the community. And you know, sometimes farmers get a little bit of a bad rap where, oh, you're like somebody who just shovels shit all day and you're stinky and you wear boots. And I'm starting to see it in a way, it's an honorable profession. We're feeding people. And we get that honor where we get to like feed people. And so I'm holding my head high.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all
Thanks.
of that.
Great
Big
job,
round of
Haley.
applause for AJ.